Hey guys, welcome back to the channel where we take awesome out of the box. Tito James here. In this one, we're talking about the OnePlus Nord CE 5G. Let's not waste any time. Let's get to the unboxing. All right, so here you go, folks. This is the box of the OnePlus Nord CE 5G. Now, I have opened this already since I had to take photos for the website, but I put everything back as best as I could so you can still get some of the unboxing experience. So the first thing out of the gates is the phone itself. So there you have it. This is the OnePlus Nord CE or Core Edition in Blue Void. In my opinion, this is the colorway to get, but we'll talk about why later on. Aside from the phone, it's pretty much all your standard stuff though. We're getting a jelly case that has a bit of a geometric pattern to give it some character. Next up, we have this happy looking SIM ejector pin. I don't know if it's just me who sees the emoji on this thing, but it's there, guys. Just look hard. Here's the standard welcome letter from the OnePlus Nord team. There's the usual set of documents. There's also Nord stickers there, but I forgot to show them in this clip. We have the signature red USB-C charging cable, and of course the Warp charger that supports 30-watt fast charging. Okay, so to give you guys a bit of a recap of what's inside the box, again, we have the Nord CE 5G in Blue Void, the jelly case, the documents, and you can see the stickers there a little bit, the SIM ejector pin, USB-C cable, and the charging brick. Okay, so that's everything that comes inside the box of the Nord CE 5G. Now let's talk pricing. So there are two configurations available for this device here in the Philippines. There's one with 8 GB of RAM and 128 GB of storage that's priced at 16,990 pesos. And if you want the maxed out version, it's 3,000 pesos more with 12 GB of RAM and 256 GB of storage. That's 19,990. So this is available via our friends from Digital Walker. They did send over this phone for us to review. Don't worry, this is not a sponsored video. I will still tell you the pros and cons in our full review. For now, these are my first impressions of this phone that can be summed up in 2 words. It's basic.
Face it, dude, you're basic.
Okay, so that's not necessarily a bad thing, but they did make a few compromises that shouldn't really come as a surprise for something the company is calling CE or the Core Edition. And the first thing that's kind of in the minus column for me here is that the phone is now made out of plastic. The first Nord we got our hands on had a Gorilla Glass back panel, and some of the competition that the CE is going up against is offering more premium build quality. The saving grace here is that it has a matte finish on the Blue Void colorway of this device, making it feel good in the hand. It has a nice soft touch to it that I really like. I did mention in the unboxing that this is the one to get because I have seen the black version of this phone. It has a glossy finish, so it's going to be fingerprints galore. Now, I know that a lot of you are going to want to put this in that jelly case anyway, but even still, I would still recommend getting the Blue Void color variant. Again, Blue Void is the way to go. For the button and ports, it's pretty much the standard layout, but sadly, no more notification slider on this device. It's a OnePlus signature that I would have loved to see in their more affordable Nord smartphones. The good news though is that we are getting a headphone jack with the CE, so if you're a fan of that analog port, it's there if you need it. Sadly, no expandable storage though. You're only getting 2 SIM card slots with this one, so that's something you may want to consider if you're choosing between the 128 or 256 GB variant of this smartphone. Moving on to the screen, the Nord CE has a 6.43-inch Fluid AMOLED panel at Full HD Plus resolution, so that's 1080 by 2400 with a refresh rate of 90 Hz. It's not going to be quite as buttery smooth as 120, but 90 is a good compromise that shouldn't affect the battery consumption too much. I don't know if it's just me, but I also feel like that this doesn't quite have a contrast ratio that I'm used to seeing from AMOLED panels. I have to spend a bit more time with it, but it does look good for watching your favorite K-pop videos on YouTube, so there is that. Of course, since it is an AMOLED panel, you also have access to an in-display fingerprint scanner that's pretty accurate so far. And since we are talking about the screen, we might as well talk about the selfie camera. It's housed in the punch hole that's in the upper left-hand corner of the screen. It's at 60 megapixels. We haven't really had a chance to try it out too much just yet, just here at home with studio lights, so we'll see how this pans out once we spend more time with this smartphone. As for the cameras on the back, you have a triple cam setup with a 64 megapixel main that sadly doesn't have OIS like the OG Nord did. You have an 8 megapixel ultrawide and a 2 megapixel macro lens. Now, Leia and I were able to take some samples while running a couple of errands, so check them out and let us know what you think in the comment section down below. Interesting and insightful comments may make it into our full review. As for the internals of the Nord CE 5G, you have a Qualcomm Snapdragon 750G at the heart of this system. Again, we have two configurations for RAM and storage for this device, up to 12 gigabytes and 256 gigabytes respectively. Now, the 750 should be enough for your day-to-day tasks and a bit of gaming. I'd say mid to high depending on the titles you're playing, but it should do the trick for things like Wild Rift and COD Mobile. The CE is equipped with a 4,500 mAh battery, which is larger than we got on the original Nord. We have to see how long this device can last, but it did pretty well with just a factory charge and an afternoon running errands. Again, it also supports 30-watt fast charging, or warp charge as the company calls it. Of course, it wouldn't be a OnePlus device without Oxygen OS, and it does have a few added quirks to make it a bit more interesting, like Canvas, which basically gives you another way to personalize your device. It's still in beta, but I can see people using this, but right now it's a mixed bag. So there you go, that's pretty much the OnePlus Nord CE 5G in a nutshell. Again, the price for this ranges from $16,990. Let me try that again. 16,990 and 19,990 pesos for the version with 12 gigabytes of RAM and 256 gigabytes of storage. Now, I did say that this phone was basic, and I mean that in a sense that it pretty much has everything that you could need in a mid-range smartphone with 5G. Again, there are some frills that you might be missing out on, but my initial verdict here, I think as a whole for OnePlus, is that I'm kind of worried that they're losing that secret sauce that they once had, and they might lose out more since they are integrating with Oppo. So yeah, there is that. But let's concentrate on this phone first. We will be doing a full review to let you guys know if it is worth considering, so make sure you stay tuned to that in about a week. There you go, guys. If you like this video, give us a thumbs up, sub to the channel, hit that notification bell if you haven't already. Leave your comments down below, your questions down below, and I'll try to get to them as soon as I can. For all the latest in tech, head to Unbox.ph, plus follow us on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, listen to our podcast on Spotify, and I think that's pretty much it. My name is Tito James. Peace, God bless. See you guys next time, and of course, stay safe.